Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another review. And today, I have a really clever star projector from our friends over at Hodan that's so much more than the average star projector, because a lot of products on the market that call themselves star projectors are nothing more than a laser that shines a light up on your ceiling. Okay, it looks cool in a dark room, but that's about the end of it. They don't really do anything to relax you. This one incorporates a lot of different technologies into one product. I call it my sleep machine because in addition to the laser that's in here, which will do a great job of throwing stars up on the ceiling, you can vary the pattern of those stars, the intensity of those stars, so you find yourself following those stars and all of a sudden you're getting sleepy. But it doesn't stop there. They've also built in another section that'll put cascading lights up on your ceiling in different colors and waves of lights moving across your ceiling like the northern lights. So you've got the stars, you've got those colored lights, and pretty soon you find yourself in this environment. You're sort of mesmerized by the color, and the next thing you know, it's morning. You woke up. It puts you to sleep so quickly. But in addition to that, they've also built in a bunch of different pre-recorded audio sounds, white noise, rain, thunder, those type of things to put you to sleep. And it's got lullabies in there as well. If you have a small baby at home, you turn this thing on, it's going to start playing lullabies. The baby's going to be out like that because they're watching those colored lights and they blink right out. So it's a wonderful product. In addition to that, it's also a Bluetooth speaker, so you can play music through it if you want. So I like this product an awful lot, and I'll get into all the details in a minute. But I always like to start with an unboxing of any product I review, just to show you everything that's included with the kit. And boy, do they give you a lot of stuff here, and that way you understand exactly what you get if you buy the product. Then I'll take a closer look at it and explain the buttons, the knobs, the indicators, how you use it, and those type of things, so you understand what you get when you bring it home and how to put it to use. And then I'll come back at the end and point out a couple of things that really separate this particular star projector, or in my case, relaxing machine, from the other star projectors on the market, because there's a lot of products out there that don't incorporate half the features this product provides. So let's get into the unboxing. So when you first pop open the box, you'll find the star projector. Again, it's a beautiful unit. It's got little rubber feet in the bottom. It's plastic. Speaker comes out the bottom, and you've got a bunch of controls in the front, which I'll show you in a closer look. You also get a charging cord. So this thing runs off of a USB-C connection to USB-A. So you can plug this into any USB wall charger. That's all the power you'll need to operate it. And again, that's a very common connection. It also includes a remote control, because you can control this from around the room, and it's great if you set it up in the baby's room and you can gently back out of the room and use the remote to turn it on, so that way you can make your exit while the baby's falling asleep. But you can also use the buttons on the side if you want to do that. Now, there's also an instruction manual included. Now, I know it seems strange to have an instruction manual, but this thing can do a lot of different things, and the instruction manual will walk you through all the steps to turn on the laser, turn on the lights, turn on both at the same time, walk through the patterns, how do you go through the sounds, how do you add Bluetooth to it. So always read through the manual. You get all the information you need to understand how to use the product correctly. Now, the product itself, again, I'd mentioned before, there's really two sections to the lighting on this. The laser on the one side, which is a green laser. It's not going to hurt you if you look into it, but don't look into a laser. It's really designed to cast stars up on your ceiling. The cool thing is, unlike a lot of star generators like this one, or star projectors like this one, these can actually vary the intensity of the lights and somewhat of the pattern of the lights. So it's mesmerizing to see those lights come in and fade out, come in and fade out, and that'll relax you because your mind starts following that pattern. And all of a sudden, the things that were bothering you that day kind of fall aside, and you can relax, and your mind relaxes. The next thing you know, you're sleeping. But in addition to that, there's another section over here that will actually cascade colors on the ceiling, and you have a lot of control over what colors they are, what kind of pattern they follow, how fast the pattern moves, and you'll find one that's natural for you that will relax you. It'll just, again, it'll take all the stress of the day. You can feel it falling off your back. You can feel your lids getting a little bit heavier, and the next thing you know, you're fast asleep. In addition to that, if you like white noise, or you like the sound of rain or the wind blowing through wheat, all those sounds are built into this unit. There's 7 or 8 different sounds you can broadcast from here. In addition to that, it's a Bluetooth speaker. So if there's a special sound that you like that you use to relax, you can actually broadcast it through here. You'll hear that sound, and you've got those beautiful cascading lights on the ceiling. I'm telling you, it's hard to resist it. You turn this thing on, you lay back in the bed, in a couple of minutes, you're going to be out like a light. So it does everything you need. And then on top of it, like I'd mentioned, you've got a couple of controls on the front that you can use to program it or walk through the different menu settings, or you can use a remote control if you like from that side. Now, if you stay tuned, next what I'll do is take a closer look at the unit. It's a pretty simple unit to operate. You can essentially plug it in, turn it on, and it works its magic. But if you want to have control over it, you can use the buttons or the remote to make those changes to the different programs. But once I finish with the closer look, then I'll come back and point out a couple of other things that I really like about it, because I've had young kids, I've got neighbors with young kids, we have friends in the family that have new babies. Something like this can be a lifesaver in a lot of ways. And I know that sounds dramatic, but if you've ever tried to put a new baby to sleep and you know how much trouble it is to get them to sleep, something like this that you can plug in, give them a gentle way to focus their attention away from their stress and their whatever, their teething, puts them to sleep right away. And again, it's a lifesaver in that respect. So stay tuned. We'll take a closer look next, and then I'll come back with some final points that you can use to compare this to other star projectors on the market. Inside the kit, you'll find the star projector, a charging cord that you can use to power this. Again, this is a USB-A end that can plug into any standard USB wall charger. The other end has a USB-C connection on it, which plugs into the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll also find a remote control included that has all the functions right here in the remote, so you can change the intensity of the light, you can move between the different colors, you can advance a program, you can turn the volume up and down, you can change the music that's being played through it. So everything you need to control on the unit, you can do through the remote. Also included is a full instruction manual, which gives you all the details you'll need to understand about the product to use it correctly. There's a lot you can do with this. For me, it's a really simple product to use, but if you want to get into a lot of these menus, you can change the colors, the background colors of the northern lights that are being broadcast and switch between different modes. So a lot of good details in the manual. Now the unit itself is made out of a high impact plastic, which makes it lightweight and very durable. On the bottom, you'll find 4 rubber feet right here that'll keep it firmly on top of a counter, so it's not going to move around on you. It's got a bit of a futuristic look to it, so it fits into most decors, no issues whatsoever. A lot of these are pretty boring. They're square and they got sharp edges on them. I really like that they took the time to design this, so it looks like a spaceship almost. It's kind of cool. Now on the top, there are 2 different sections. That's the laser section. It'll broadcast a green laser on the ceiling to simulate the stars. You have control over the patterns of how those lasers come on, how they fade, the intensity. So you can turn that on and just generate the stars. But the real magic for me is this section right here, which actually generates the northern lights on the ceiling. And it's because of the Fresnel lens right here on the outside and the clever LED arrangement they have inside there. It's a very bright light, but when it broadcasts on the ceiling, it's absolutely amazing. The colors it can generate and the patterns it can generate, and that's the one that puts me to sleep. I love the stars, but that northern lights is really just such a spectacular view. You can put that even in a party. You could turn it on and really liven up a room. Now on the front, you'll find a few more things here. That's the infrared receiver right there. So if you're using the infrared remote control, you have to point it at that. So if you spin this, so that's facing away from the wall, so it's out into the room. As long as the remote can see that, you'll be fine. If you spin it around so you can't see that, then you can't use the remote. So make sure that's facing out. Then there's a couple of buttons here that control some of the functions. That's the power button. This will advance you through the different programs, volume down, volume up. These 2 buttons right here to adjust the volume of the sounds that are playing or the Bluetooth connection with the phone or whatever you're using to send Bluetooth sounds over to it. On the bottom is where the speaker is. It's also nice because the speaker on the bottom, this is off the surface a little bit because of these feet. You can see it raises it up. That gives it a little bit more bass than you would normally, because a plastic product like this tends to be very high end as far as the audio goes, but lifting this off the surface and having that speaker bounce down against that surface tends to enhance the bass quite a bit. So it's not a bad sounding unit. And again, you're not going to play it at 10 or 11 of the volume. You're not trying to fill a room with party music. It's really just to be able to broadcast a sound, a relaxing sound to this at night from your phone over a Bluetooth connection to help you fall asleep. But I think it's a wonderful product. I really like the design. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now here are a few things you can use to compare the Hodan Star Projector to others you might be considering. And the first thing is, it's really 2 units in one. A lot of the other star projectors on the market are nothing more than lasers that just cast a bunch of green light or red light up on the ceiling, which looks kind of cool. It's kind of interesting to see it. But without it moving, it's not going to actually relax you, because you look up and there's lights in the ceiling, and okay, maybe you can sort of think about things and get away from all the stress of the day, but the lights aren't moving. With this one, you can vary the intensity of the lights, or there's patterns of the light getting dimmer, getting brighter, and that catches your attention. But the second part of this is the kaleidoscope effect on this side. Now, again, a lot of star projectors out there have some kind of color wheel inside that moves a bunch of colors around in the ceiling. That's not what this one's doing. It has the pulsing laser to give you the star effect, but then it's got this other section over here, which has 3 different colored LEDs in it that are really intense, and they can simulate the northern lights on your ceiling. It's absolutely amazing how that pattern can catch your attention, and it's like waves of pattern going across that ceiling. I'm getting sleepy even talking about it, but if you turn on the stars, you turn on that pattern, and then you turn on the white noise in the background, you'll be out like that. So I mean, the fact that it combines both in one is really nice. And the other thing is, you can turn them on individually. So if you find that you don't like the stars, just turn on the northern light portion. Or if you don't like that, just turn on the stars if the kids want to look up and see the stars. You have a lot of control over it. The second thing is it's got the white noise generator built in with a bunch of patterns you can listen to, like rain and wind and some other things that are very relaxing sounds automatically programmed into the unit. It's also a Bluetooth speaker. A lot of the star projectors aren't, so you'd have to have the star projector and a speaker in your bedroom and kind of figure out between the two of them where the music's coming from or where the noise is coming from. With this one, it's all in one unit, so if I have a noise that I like or a sound that I like that puts me to sleep, in my case it's crashing waves, if I want to listen to crashing waves and I'm trying to fall asleep, I could have my phone playing over here, but I can have it play through the Bluetooth speaker, so my phone can be on a charger, playing through this, and the next thing you know, I'm sleeping. The last thing I'll mention is I love the fact that I can use it with any standard USB wall charger. A lot of these units have a very specific charger that comes with the unit that's really married to the unit. It's got a very specific connector on the end and a certain voltage and current that it can deliver. And over time, if that power supply goes bad, you're going to have a dickens of a time trying to find a replacement for it. So having one that runs off a standard cable with a USB-A connection on it means you don't have to worry about a special power supply that you have to find later on if it goes bad. You can use any standard USB wall charger, plug this into one end into the charger, the other end into the star projector, and it just works. It just does the job. So I think it's a great unit. I love the fact that it's got a remote control because like I'd mentioned, getting out of that baby's room, gently backing away from the baby to get out of the room can be a real challenge. With this, I can turn on the music, turn on the light, and slowly back away without him seeing me leave the room, and I think that's an advantage as well. So all things being equal, I think it's a great product. I think the price is right. I like it a lot. I think you'll like it a lot as well. So thanks an awful lot for watching. And again, until next time, stay nerdy.